Staying with the story, we're joined via video link by political analyst Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast to unpack the developments. Prof, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us at the cell on the SABC.
Thank you very much for having me, listen.
Prof, we're obviously just looking at the latest coming through earlier on. Breaking news, the ANC deciding to suspend former President Jacob Zuma. What is your reaction to this announcement? Did it come as a surprise? And also, let's look at the approach in which it's been undertaken. Your thoughts?
Listen, I'm not taken aback by the turn of events. I saw it coming. I think one could see, in my view, which way the wind was blowing before the series of meetings that took place over the weekend. And I think, in my opinion, the ANC has made the right call because the slow pace of responsiveness of the ANC did not do any favor for the ANC. What is source for the goose is source for the gander. The ANC cannot say that it is going to institute disciplinary action against certain members who have walked out of the ANC and then turn a blind eye to Msholozi. So that was basically the ANC applying a double standards. But also, I think it's not good enough to say that Msholozi has walked out of the ANC by himself, and therefore the ANC will turn a blind eye. So you have to set the record straight of which the ANC has done that. Of course, you can still see that the ANC is still trying to be circumspect. It doesn't want to do everything at once, because they say that the decision is still going to be a process. But I think the matter is out of the way now, meaning that the ANC has cleared the air in terms of where it stands in relation to Msholozi.
How does this play into the issue of renewal that it constantly preaches about? And was it enough? But also, if we look at the impact that this is going to have as we edge closer to elections, what are you also observing on that front?
I think it fits into that project of renewal, because I think also renewal is about also party discipline, in terms of making sure that the ANC is seen in a good light as a party that takes a stand against ill discipline. There is no party on a global scale, from my standpoint, that will allow duality, whereby you wear two caps. On the one hand, you are a member of this party. On the other hand, you are encouraging people not to vote for the very same party that you purport to belong to. I mean, that it doesn't make sense. So I think the ANC has made the right call. I don't think that the ANC, I speak as someone who's outside the ANC, should worry about the fact that there might be an escalation of tensions within itself. If that has to happen, then so be it. But it had to clear the air by setting the record straight in terms of expelling Msholozi. I think that was a good decision in my view.
Speaking about questioning whether there would be an escalation of tensions and also the power dynamics at play between the former president and the party itself. Things are heating up. The chess moves are also happening. How do we also reflect on the SG of the ANC's utterances, where he implicated himself and the party committing immoral acts to protect the former president? And how is this also going to add some more questions or stirrings to the pot?
Yeah, I think the SG made a mistake there. He should not have said that. Should not have cracked a joke about. He was too casual when he was making that speech, when he was pitching his message to his audience. But I think the ANC should not be hard on him. They should give him the benefit of the doubt. I've got confidence in him. I think that was a learning curve. And I hope that he has drawn a lesson from that, because that assertion gave a wrong impression that the ANC doesn't take the fight against corruption seriously. Most people, they knew that the ANC lied basically when they said that a fire pool was a swimming pool. But for him to reinforce that in public jokingly, it left much to be desired. And I hope that he will not do something similar to that in future.
And then, Prof, just as we look at some of the other issues that top the agenda, the hits and misses as well, particularly for the NEC, as you know, they plan ahead of the manifesto launch, and also just some of the issues that came to the fore, including NSFAS, which is education matters, the power bill in the Western Cape, and even the shifting geopolitical landscape. What do you make of those priorities as well?
Well, first of all, with regard to the bill that is in the pipeline in the Western Cape, there's nothing wrong, in my view, in any political party to take pride in the good job that it does in terms of, promoting development or getting the job done, even though there are shortcomings of the DA in the Western Cape, in particular in Cape Town, in terms of the divide between the haves and the have-nots. But I know that the DA takes pride in that province in terms of getting clean audits. So that is fine, in my opinion. But there's everything wrong when you are advocating for a breakaway, because that it impinges negatively on nation building. It impinges negatively on the glue that holds everyone together in the country. And also it can have negative national consequences in terms of the breakdown of a society. But there's nothing wrong in terms of taking pride in getting the job done in the Western Cape. But there's everything wrong for the DA to advocate for a breakaway. And then the other issue is the issue of NSFAS. It's a thorny issue because most universities are going to kick off with their lectures maybe presumably 2 weeks from now, the majority of them, and we might experience a series of protests. I think most students are going to sort of like engage in mass actions because the funds have not been released. Long time ago, when I was a student, universities used to be given autonomy to manage those funds. I think maybe there's a need for a rethink surrounding that, because there has been a slow pace of distributing funds to universities, and that is affecting the academic project and also affecting the scientific outputs of universities in terms of producing knowledge.
Well, Prof, certainly has the post-NEC briefing has served as a conversation starter, because there are lots more questions and answers at this point. But thank you for weighing in at this time and for sharing your sentiments. We'll leave it there for now. Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast, just weighing in on that ANC post-NEC briefing, outlining the priorities. Breaking news emerging from there, of course, as we spoke to our reporter, Samkele Maseko, that the ANC has decided to suspend former President Jacob Zuma from the party. Of course, a letter has to be issued. He will have 48 hours to reply, and that formal announcement will then be communicated to the media thereafter. But again, thank you to Prof for joining us at this hour.